Hi everyone, good to see everyone here again. So today we're going to have a very important topic to discuss, which is ESG. So people in our generation really care about environment, nature, and climate change. And quite honestly, we don't have a choice. And this is the right thing to do to protect ourselves, to protect our future, our kids' future. Uh, and and ESG is not a new concept. It's something we want to do, and we want to do it right. The thing about ESG is it can be very difficult because we don't know what we don't know. For so long, the human race has been trashing our environment and nature, especially after Industrial Revolution, not because we're bad, not because we want to pollute, and not because we don't care about the animals or wildlife. For the most part, it's simply because we don't know, and we don't know better. We don't know how much is our carbon footprint, and we don't know our impact onto the nature, onto the environment, and onto the society around us. Uh, and and we want to be good players. A lot of business want to be good players. That is why not only the regulators such as SEC or EU regulators want to establish standard for company to report ESG now, but also a lot of businesses proactively issue ESG report nowadays, not only to attract investment from ESG conscious investors, but also most importantly, it's the right thing to do. And here today, I want to talk about one solutions I find out by my research. Like I find it really amazing, which is why I want to share with you guys and to show you how easily and how quickly you can calculate your business carbon footprint by just clicking a few buttons. And I want to share this with you so hopefully you can fast track your ESG implementation, which will be good for all of us. First things first, I want to have a disclaimer. I don't have any financial ties to Dynimos as of this moment, at least. And also, I don't receive any compensations from the Dynimos either. And all of you knows I'm really big in automation. The reason I want to share this is I am truly amazed by the automations that Dynimos implemented to automate the entire ESG carbon footprint calculation and also how the ESG report has been automated. It is truly amazing. I will show you guys really quickly, very easy to understand. And this is the reason why I post this video. You go to the Dynimos website, dynimos.com. You will see their website setup is pretty straightforward and simple and introduced some of the functionalities they have on the platform. So this one, you can automate your ESG reports and where you can get your carbon footprint data, you can use your carbon accounting software, which is a cloud application. You can just click a few buttons to figure out how much is your carbon footprint. And right now, if I believe I refresh the page, I think they made it for free until November, which is great. So I just went ahead and registered my account for free anyway. So let me log in, saved my password already. And all you need to do after you log in, the tools will appear for you. So you only need to select which ones you want to work with. So I'm really interested in calculating my carbon footprint. So I heavily use carbon accounting. And Dynimos has already automated the carbon footprint calculation for the US companies based in the US. So it has all the three scopes figured out already, and which you just need to select and click which ones you want to calculate. For example, the hardest ones, of course, is the scope 3. If you are somewhat familiar with ESG, scope 3 is almost impossible to calculate just because you don't have enough expertise and you don't have enough data. And Dynimos already resolved all of that issues for you. And I will show you how I calculate my business travel carbon footprint using Scope 3 functionalities Dynimos provided. So one thing I do for my work is I travel a lot. And I definitely travel more than I wanted to. Business travel is one of the hardest Scope 3 calculations, like all the companies out there need to do when they disclose Scope 3 carbon footprint. So the way Dynimos designed this is very straightforward. So after I click in, you basically got put into Dynimos business travel and employee commuting module, I assume. And this is where you can basically input your data and get your carbon footprint immediately out of there. So for me, let's say I will gonna select a calculation method. Distance-based method is the one I use. I believe is more accurate calculation approach because if I know how many miles I traveled on air, and I think Dynamos will calculate based on those miles and average greenhouse gas emissions based on the distance traveled. So I like that one. And alternatively, you can enter how much money you spend on air for your flight. And then, of course, that one is probably not as accurate as the distance-based method. So, and for me, I travel mostly by flight. So once I enter air, and I travel long distance across the nation. So I often pick long haul, and each time I travel, I try to keep a log of my traveling. So each time I travel, I basically update my total miles here. And here I enter 3,000 miles I traveled, and I can immediately see how much carbon footprint I have for my travel of 3,000 miles on air, which is 489 kilograms of greenhouse gas. That number scares me a lot, I gotta be honest. But that also tells me how much impact my activities has on the environment. So I need to make conscious decisions, and hopefully I can cut down the traveling or cut down the unnecessary commute from this angle, right? And this is just one example how quickly you can calculate the Scope 3. And I tried a couple of other ones they provided as well, like transportation, and if it's upstream transportation, again, you can pick this distance-based method or spend-based method. And if I go back, and for Scope 2, you can check electricities, and it will ask you a couple of questions. Has any electricity consumed from owned or operation generation? Yes. Normally it's yes. And has any electricity been consumed from the grid and other third-party electricity suppliers? Yes, because I didn't generate electricity on my own, right? And are any of your energy-consuming facilities located in areas where grid customers can be provided with product in form of contractual instrument? I don't have those. And this where it's getting more technical, right? So I need to figure out which electricity grid region I'm in. If I don't, I can just always pick US average, and I will put some usage amount per megawatt. So here, let's just say 50 megawatts. How many pounds of greenhouse gas are used for generating 50 megawatts of the electricity. And number is pretty impressive. Now I have showed you how to use your tool very easily to calculate different scopes of emissions by just click a few buttons and enter some of the input. And feel free to play with it, especially right now. And get yourself familiar with how you can quickly calculate your carbon footprint. And this is truly amazing. And I wish I had this earlier when I helped the company issue their first ESG report. That was entire different struggle. And talking about the report, I realized Dynimos also have their own ESG report generator. It allows you to select the template to start with. If you are retail, of course, select the retail template. And if you are a manufacturer, select the manufacturer template. For me, I'm easier, so I just select the general template, and I can put the company name in here. I have a start date and end date to cover the report period. I will just, as an example, I will just enter the beginning of this year. If I want to cover the entire year, and click Get Started, and this is where it tell you instructions how you write your own ESG report. And you could simply say, well, use their template they provided, and say provide what services and products, and then you can modify it and replace some of the template they have here to go over those. And after you entered all of those, basically you will finish up your own ESG report. So I would highly encourage you to go ahead and try this and build your own ESG report. That will certainly make it very, very straightforward and very easy to do. And this is where I'm very, very impressed. And I hope there are a lot of companies like Dynimos popping up in the next few years to help everyone, including me, to build better ESG reporting, not only because the regulators want us to, but it's more because we want to do the right thing. If you haven't tried it, any of the ESG solutions, I would highly encourage you to research. And if you have time and want to figure out your own carbon footprint, try Dynamos carbon footprint calculation. That one really start becoming my favorite too. I hope you find my video very useful and learned how to use a new ESG product Dynimos provided. So, and go ahead and register your account since it's free at the moment, and play with the tools Dynimos provided, and let me know what you think. And also, if you come across with other ESG products you want me to explore, and please message me and give me a heads up. I'm much more than willing to. And ESG is certainly one of my passions as well. All right, guys. I will see you next time. Thank you.